What's up, guys? Gibberish HS here today, and today we have some interesting new Battlegrounds updates. It's a little late, so I apologize for that, but yeah, I'm here now, so I'm gonna get it done while we can. We have 4 new heroes, 4 were removed, and we have several nerfs and buffs happening in Battlegrounds. This is the beta, so we are going to see a lot of changes. Probably, I would be surprised if we didn't see more changes throughout it. If you haven't already, check out my previous video on the buffs and nerfs that they first did. And yeah, let's get into it. So I'm doing it on the Hearthstone page because there's kind of so much to talk about that it'll just be faster if for me and easier for me to show you guys it this way. So the first thing is we got 4 new heroes. So the first new hero is Bronzebeard. Now Bronzebeard is a new hero power. They removed 4 and added another 4. So the first one they added was Bronzebeard. Uh, he has a hero power. After you play a Battlecry minion, give a random friendly minion 1/1. Now, I have played all the new heroes except for Braun. I just haven't got pulled him up in the selection, so I don't know what's up with that. But from what I've seen, every time it seems like he gets there, he usually gets in the top 4. Um, if you play this guy right, I don't see any problem with him. Battle cries are really popular. Um, yeah, it just is. And so if you're having a minion who you're gonna keep for a while, this is something that's very valuable in Battleground. So much better than I think one of the cards they have. Now, since they removed 4 heroes, uh, some of these ones I would say these new 4 heroes are average across. Some of them are really good. Some of them are just good. The heroes that they got removed were generally kind of considered not the best. Except for some, they were either like not that good or really good. So we're seeing kind of like a balance of just like all. I think they're trying to make all heroes around the same power level. Next is Elise Star Seekers. Elise is a fun one. I played her a few times. The lead explorer hero power is a passive hero power. Whenever you upgrade Bob's Tavern, get a recruitment map. What is a recruitment map? Well, a recruitment map means that it's basically like it adds a 3 cost gold card to your hand. This is discover a tavern tier minion of whatever you just upgraded it to. So if you upgrade it to Tavern 2, it'll say discover a tier 2 minion and so forth. I actually think this is pretty good because it gets very valuable once you get to the 5 to 6 star area, depending on what you're doing. A lot of people don't have to go 6 star, but this lets you get another chance of choosing a specific minion that you want. It's also very good for just getting good, better options. If you are refreshing and you're not getting what you want, this is a good card because it also lets you get a minion from that tier that you need. Because generally, if you're refreshing, and let's say those last 2 times you refresh, you're only getting tier 3 or 2 star minions, and you need that 4 star minion, this is a way to help you get that. So I think it's actually a very clever idea, and I enjoy playing her. She's very fun. And the last new hero is Sir Finley Murgleton. Sorry, second one. Now this is one that I actually didn't think was that good when I first saw him. The reason being is that I just didn't think that paying for this would be that valuable. But the thing is, as I played Sir Finley, I've actually enjoyed him a little more. He is fun, and it's kind of like the Top Hat Murloc in how he gives his 2 gold. Now he's not as good as that guy, but he is pretty good, I actually think. Because he's very valuable in the mid game. Because in the mid game, especially like when you have 5 gold, usually buy a minion and you will refresh 2 times. Well, let's say you get a token. What you can do is you can buy a minion, use the hero power, sell the token, use the hero power again. So you just got to buff your minions 2/2 instead of refreshing. So that is something that is valuable, and you can find these little nooks and cracks to do it. So don't. I think he's better than you might think. So give him a shot. Play him a little bit. The important thing is not to obsess over the hero power. A lot of times I see people they try to use the hero power more and more and more. Don't worry about it. It's just a good extra thing if you can get it. And the last one is Syndragosa. Syndragosa is one that I actually thought would be the best, and she is really good. Just for all round. Freezing your minions is very. It's just something you do. You know, you don't think about it too much, but it is something you just do. So even if you're not really focused on the hero power, it's still just a nice thing to have. Um, and it may buff a minion more than you want. And the nice thing is you can buy like I bought a minion. I would just freeze it every time. I think I did it with the hyena. I froze a hyena like 3 times. He became a 5/5, which made him more likely to live. So doing stuff like that is kind of cool. But same thing as Murgleton, don't obsess over the hero power too much. It will cost you the game. Alright, so those are the 4 new heroes. And very bright. This is the new these are the 4 heroes that got removed. So King Mukla, which is very interesting because they nerfed Mukla. I mean buffed Mukla, which surprised me. It surprised me they would buff him and then take him out of the game. So maybe they'll bring him back, maybe they won't. I'm surprised they didn't take out a guy like Patches instead of Mukla, but whatever. Giant Finn was actually a pretty fun hero, so I'm kind of sad to see him go, but he wasn't as good as I think some of these new ones. Maleficent Maelstrom is a big hit because mechs are probably one of the strongest types of, just one of the strongest types of uh, routes you can go to win your game. It's just really, really strong, and Maleficent Maelstrom was a very strong card, so it actually did surprise me that they had her leave like that. And then Lich Basia, I don't know how to say that last name. Uh, Now this is a card, a hero that people I think generally thought was like maybe the worst. I think Draxus was up to debate, but Draxus got buffed, so I actually personally loved Lich just because the Lich was so much fun to just use your hero power. For me, I enjoyed her. She wasn't that good to be honest, but I did like playing her. So I am actually sad that she is out, but I understand that she was one of the lower heroes, so I accept it. So the real thing is, are these 4 heroes worth the trade? I think for overall in Battlegrounds, it balances it a lot more. Maleficent was one of those people where you could choose her almost every time and you would most likely get in the top 4. She was just so strong because mechs are so strong right now. But she's not the only card that got affected. It was also mechs that got affected. So I would have been interesting to see her in it. But yeah, so we had Mukla, Lich, Maleficent, and the big Murloc. Was that worth trading for Braun, Elise, Sintragosa, and Murkleton? I think so. I think I think the game will be better once every hero is more to an equal hero, equal power level. Um, the thing is that like there are still certain heroes that are way better than other ones, but I do think there are. It's good to even out the playing field. Uh, and I think once you do that, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable for the players. Now, as long as they don't remove patches, I'll be fine. I love patches. I love Professor Putricide, and I'm not the best player in Battlegrounds by any means, but I do think it's a lot of fun, and I like to just, as long as I get in the top 4, I enjoy it, the round usually. Uh, so it's a lot of fun playing this Battlegrounds, and I think getting new heroes that balance the meta a little bit is good. Because Mukla was really good once you got up in there from buying him, and Maleficent was really good too. The the Giant Fin and Lich weren't that good of heroes. So they took two of the best heroes, and then they took two of the worst heroes, and they swapped them for two mediocre, for four good heroes. So I think they're trying to level out the playing field a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we get more nerfs and buffs along the way. I do think something like patches and Ragnaros need to be changed a little bit. Just my thoughts. But yeah, a lot of these cards are a lot of fun, guys, and I really enjoy these heroes. So heroes were a lot of fun to look at. So now we're going to look at some of the minions that were changed. So the first one was Junkbot, probably one of the most significant ones. Junkbot went from a 4-star card to a 5-star card, which I actually think was necessary. Junkbot was a crazy card, and this really helped balance him out, I feel like. He's still a great card, and he was one of the best mechs. It's kind of funny to think about that mech Junkbot is a horrible card in standard, or wild, I guess. But in Battlegrounds, he's one of the most powerful cards in the game. Junkbot is really good when it comes to playing mechs, and mechs are really good, so what you know. But Kriparian mentioned this too. You didn't really have to go to 5-star or more for mechs. It was nice if we can get to the like Shredder and the like I forget, like 6300 card, the Taxman extra. I always forget that card's name. So you didn't really need it. It was nice if you could though. Um, this kind of requires you to do that, which makes it a little more difficult because then it limits your amount. So seeing this change, I actually think is very good. I think it's going to help balance the meta a little more. So I think it's good. So next is Voidlord. Voidlord went from a 6-star to a 5-star. This is going to help demons out, I think, but I don't think it's going to help them as much as we thought. Um, the thing about Void Lords is that they're not really just as it's good, but you don't really get the full potential of this. The only Void Lord I actually saw that really was a threat was someone who had a Mal'Ganis, triple Mal'Ganis on the board, and they had two Void Lords. And so when the Void Lords died, they summoned like 5-7 Void Lords, Void Walkers. That's really strong. That was really good, but it's rare that you can get that good of a combo. With this, I think it's going to be a lot easier. I did think 6-star was way too much for that, so I am glad to see a change. Alright guys, so that's all from what I know of. I will keep on checking. If I miss anything, I will make another update about it. Um, yeah, and so just keep playing Battlegrounds, guys. Good that these changes are coming. It's a new game basically for it's not just new mode for Hearthstone, it's a new game practically. It's so different from what we're used to. So give the feedback, give your concerns and thoughts to the game so we can get these changes that we want done. I think that these changes are good for it, and I think that the more changes we get are going to be good, as long as they don't change patches. Don't change patches!